Welcome to another fabulous episode of NT Sheep's Digital Wonderlands! Welcome back, my little lambs, for more Halo action and fun. We are trying to complete the library and get to the center of it. Now, in the last video, one of the problems I started running into is the little robot that we're trying to follow is disappearing and is hard to keep track of when we're getting surrounded by the flood. One thing I found out is that there are little arrow marks on the floor to help guide you where you need to go. And the robot, at times when I'm losing him, it's because he's going into overhead vents and stuff and then popping up around corners and everything. So just try and keep your eye on the marks on the ground. This gives you more time to try and deal with the flood. Now, I tried several different tactics. One, I tried just running as much as possible, but the flood are faster than you and will catch up to you, so you definitely need to try and pick and choose your battles with them. One tip I can give for fighting against the flood is make sure you're out in an open area where you've got plenty of room to move around. If you get yourself backed into a corner, they can swarm you pretty darn quick and there's almost nothing you can do. The other problem is the flood are getting smarter. They're picking up more and more weapons on their own, and they're even starting to use grenades and rocket launchers. So if you're in a very open space where there's a lot of distance between you, they're going to use tactics like a rocket launcher to get you, which they managed to use on me several times. But other than that, it's just try and battle your way as good as you can through it. So there's not really anything else I can give for tips during this video, so it's going to be about 20 minutes long, so let's see how many times I die and how far I can make it.
We must continue. This installation's research facilities are most impressive. These sentinels will supplement your combat systems.
These Sentinel drones that have been released are going to be very effective against the flood. And this is one of those times where you've got a really good chance of fighting them off so you can collect extra weapons and ammo. This also gives you a chance to try and duck around corners if you need to give your shield time to recharge. So these are going to be the spots where you want to pay attention for to have a really good chance at getting past the flood and thinning their numbers out, making it easier for you to run away.
Flood activity has caused a failure in a drone control subsystem. I must reset the backup unit. Please continue on. I will rejoin you when I've completed my task. Sentinels can use their weapons to manage the flood only for a short time. Speed is of the essence. Please wait here. Environment suit should serve you well when the flood begins to alter the atmosphere. You are a good planner. The installation was left to but the other species currently on the installation is responsible for releasing the flood. They seem most persistent in their attempts to access restricted areas. too dangerous to risk. The mass sterilization protocols may again need to be
Well, it's definitely been one heck of a battle against the Flood. Especially while I was editing the video, I was able to notice some of the things that were definitely hurting me. Those Flood that are, the giant bags of little ones, when they explode near you, it looks like they're doing a lot of damage to your shield, so you definitely want to try and stay away from them. I think that's probably the thing that was hurting me the most. The shotgun seems to be a very good weapon, but again, as with most shotguns in video games, you really want to be up close, so there's definitely a trade-off there, it seems. The shard weapon really didn't do me any good. It takes too long for them to sit there and detonate, and with how fast the Flood move, that still gives them plenty of time to sit there and close distance on you, even though you may have fired a bunch of shards into them. The battle rifle is definitely great against all the little ones. I mean, it will sit there and tear through them pretty darn quick. Plasma weapons from the Covenant seem to be some of the best ones to use. Even when you're technically out of range, it can still do quite a bit of damage, so when you have time to line up your shots, like I was doing towards the end, you can kind of almost snipe with it. It's going to take a lot of shots, though, to take the enemy out, since you're not really doing a whole lot of damage because you're out of range. But this brings us to the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching, my little lambs, and I hope to see you again next time in the Digital Wonderlands.